welcome the newest member of the Edmonton Oilers, Andrew Mangiapane. Hello, Andrew. It's Bob. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. So I'm just trying to recall the year because you were the MVP of the World Hockey Championship, I think back in 21. Was Stetch with you that year on the team?
Yes, he was. He's a great player, and that's where we kind of met, and our friendship's been strong ever since there.
I lacked the speed, talent, agility, coordination, toughness, character, and discipline to have played in the 12-team WHL back in the day. But I admire undersized guys that punch above their weight class. That's how Stetch plays on D. And that is part of your game, is even though you're not a 6'3" player, you are a highly competitive player, and it's part of the reason you've had the success you've had in your career. I'm sure there was competition for your services. Why did Edmonton make the most sense for you and Elaine Waugh, your agent?
Yeah, I think this is a really good opportunity for me, right? Whenever you're, I guess, joining a team that's been back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals, it's a pretty good opportunity, right? Obviously, they have some great high-end talent on their team, and I figured that me just kind of coming in here and doing what I could do could, maybe help this team over the finish line.
Got a text here from Jack from Pro-Am Sports. He goes, we're already getting people calling in looking for Mangiapane Edmonton Oilers jerseys. When you were playing the Oilers during the 21-22 playoffs, did you you know where I'm going next. Yeah. Did you ever envision that this would be possible?
No, I genuinely would have never thought I'd be a Edmonton Oiler, but I think my whole time in Calgary, you would have never have thought it. But with that being said, I am happy to be an Oiler. I think it's a great city fan base, right? I've seen that, and just the whole team. It's just easy to be able to play for these guys, and hopefully I could just come, and it's an easy transition, and we could put with, I guess, a few teammates or a few, I guess, enemies that we had on the team. We just put that behind and, start fresh, new teammates, right?
Yeah, Andrew, what's interesting to me is I think back to that series, and, I'm in year 17 now doing the color for the team and then hosting this show. And I remember at the end of the second period of game, or at the end of the first period of game 2, I looked at Jack Michaels, my play-by-play partner, and I said, the Oilers better get going here. And Edmonton just flipped the switch. But great as Connor was in that series, Leon Draisaitl had a broken ankle and had 17 points in 5 games. Like, he had 3 points in every game. He's got the pain threshold of a cadaver. Like, he is one tough ass. Yeah. Like, tell me what it was like. Were you guys kind of, as you're watching McDavid and Draisaitl, and I know they're part of the reason why you came here, but as you were watching them during that series, where you're like, oh man, we're not these. You got belief in your room. You guys had a great year that year. You sniped 35, but did you have to acknowledge just how great their top end talent was?
Yeah, for sure. Right. I think probably everyone on our team can agree that those two players, are two top end players, right? And every time they stepped down on the ice, our job was to almost not let them touch the puck, right? And they were still putting up points and basically winning the series for them and everything like that, right? They're like you said with Leon, he's a big boy and he's tough to get the puck off, and when he has one leg, he's still shielding that puck and he was still making it hard. So I mean, obviously that's all kind of in the past, and I'm just excited to meet all these guys and start our friendship on the right foot, I guess.
Yeah, so tell me this. How much left wing versus right wing have you played during the course of your career?
Yeah, I'd probably say maybe 60-40 on the left. I say that I do prefer the left, but I'd say pretty used to playing on the right as well, right? I feel like my time in Calgary, I was flip-flopping. My time in Washington, I was flip-flopping. So every kind of season, the coach just kind of says, can you play right or can you play left? And I say, yeah, for sure, right? Wherever the coach wants to put me, I'll be happy to play.
We're joined by the newest member of the Edmonton Oilers, Andrew Mangiapane. Andrew, I put the tweet out right after Edmonton signed you in your last 3 years in Calgary. 5th on the power play for forwards time on ice, which meant you're basically in the second power play unit, but also 5th on the penalty killing unit. I know you received some motivational perspectives from some of the top people in the Oilers organization. How comfortable are you? I mean, we know you can score, but how comfortable are you if Chris Knobloch taps you and says, hey, we're going to need you to be part of the penalty killing rotation here?
Yeah, I've always loved PKing, right? Obviously, you love being on the power play. But yeah, I like PKing, right? I'd say it gets you in the game, and for me to be at my best and playing my game, I got to be involved, right? Find it tough for me to sometimes sit on the bench when you're going through power play and penalty kill, and you're not a part of it, right? And it kind of takes you out of the game. So for me, I want to thrive in both of those situations, right? Obviously, the power play in Edmonton might be a little tough to crack that top unit. They've been clicking probably about 40% for a couple of years now, so it'd be tough to kind of get in that one. But for sure with the PK, I'd be extremely honored to kind of step in there and to help in whichever way possible, right?
So the best recruiters are always the players. Now I say that my midget AA center, Guy Godowski, is the head coach at Penn State. He just had Gavin McKenna and Guy Kinsell. But sometimes the players need to help, and perhaps you can educate our listeners here. What was it like to have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl be involved in part of that process with you as you were making your decision yesterday?
Yeah, obviously there's a lot of emotions and people pulling you this way and that way and wanting you here or there, right? But when you have those two kind of caliber players calling you, you almost tend to listen, right? So obviously they're two great players, and I just want to come and be a part of a winning team and winning culture, right? I want to contribute in whichever way possible. But yeah, when those guys call, you kind of tend to listen to them and listen to what they have to say, right?
Yeah, you sniped 50 a couple times with Barrie in the OHL. The legendary Dale Hawerchuk was your coach there. I'm assuming he was one of the significant people that helped guide and steer your career and help you maybe exceed the expectations of what some people had for you along the way in the journey.
Yeah, he was, honestly, I don't know if I'd be here without Dale Hawerchuk. My whole career, even when I was a young guy, everyone's telling me you're not going to make it, this, that, and the rest. But I went to the Barrie Colts camp, and I was there as a free agent, and Dale spotted me and said, listen, we like you, we want to sign you, right? And I believe in you, right? I want you to play here. I want you to succeed, right? And he was the one that had the belief in me when I maybe didn't even believe in myself. He was the one kind of pushing me, saying that I was a good player, right? So he was, like I said, I don't know where I'd be without Dale. He was a great man, great person, obviously a great hockey player, but just kind of away from the rink. He wants the best for everybody, and he wanted the best for me, so I can't say enough things about Dale. I
do an event every year with Jerry Johansson, prominent agent. Daryl Sutter is always at it. It's out in Irma, which is right by Viking, Alberta. And your biggest year and best season was playing for Daryl Sutter. You know what? He cares a lot more, I think, than most people know. But just a thought on having one of the legendary Sutter brothers help you out on the way as well.
Yeah, no, I loved Daryl. Daryl was a great coach as well, right? He really knew the game, X's and O's and everything like that, but he also cared for kind of all his players and wanted them to do the best, right? So I thrived under Daryl. I know that he could be maybe tough and kind of hard on players, but I feel I don't know, maybe that's how I was raised. My dad was a little tough on me and everything like that, so I was maybe kind of used to it, but I really like Daryl as a coach in person, and he pushed you to be the best player that you can be, and it definitely helps me in my career. All
right. Well, you're only going to have about 4 more painless interviews a year with me, or painful interviews a year with me. Thank you for squeezing us in. Congratulations on the deal, and you'll be sick of me shortly during the course of next season. Okay.
That's not possible. Thank you.
The newest member of the Edmonton Oilers, Curtis Lazar. Curtis, it's Bob. How you doing?
Doing pretty good, Bob. How are you?
Good. Lots of conversations over the years, and boom, It finally happened. Tell me your thought process, because I know you had some other options and maybe some other options north of where Edmonton was going to come in cap-wise. Why the Edmonton Oilers made sense at this time?
Yeah, well, I mean, if we kept on trying on July 1st, we were due to make it happen. But ultimately, just I think the fit in itself, like you said, there's more stuff out there and whatnot, but just what the Oilers have, the kind of the game that I play and what I bring to the table, I think it was a perfect fit. Coming from a down season last year, I got a lot to prove, and the conversations that I've had so far is I got the opportunity here to grab something and run with it and really help this team out in a lot of ways. So I guess you add that to the fact that I got a history in Edmonton. I'm excited to come back there and relive some memories, see some familiar faces and whatnot. It's special. It was a no-brainer for me, and super happy day for myself and my family.
Yeah, I remember seeing you a couple of years ago by the buses in New Jersey afterwards, and I think you just you and your wife just had a baby, and you were having a really good year in 23-24, like a solid season. You mentioned a bit of a down year. I know you had a bit of a knee problem. Are you completely healthy now? And how much did that undermine the personal success you had last season in Jersey?
Yeah, like I said, great season the year before. Last year, granted some bad luck, the knee injury problem and some complications with the surgery, which it's kind of fine. My knee's awesome. It's great. It's strong, but some of the hardware they put in there, just my body wasn't responding well. So the player that I am, I'm always going to want to play, even if it's not at 100%. So I sucked it up and legged out the season. But in saying that, I was probably only healthy for about 2 weeks of the entire year. Again, that's going to open the door to your criticism and lack of play and production and all that stuff. But I look at it as, I'm a hockey player. I just want to play the game, and any chance you get to lace them up in the NHL, I'm going to take it. So I don't care if I'm at 100% or whatnot. I'm going to give it my all. So finally put those issues behind me. I've been training really hard. I'm back in Kelowna here in the summer, and just super excited. Just the way that my body's moving. Like I said, the opportunity that I have to help out the Edmonton Oilers. There's a lot of good things going. So again, truly thrilled and can't wait to get going.
You played over 500 games in the league, but at the end of the day, it's not about the money, is it? It's about winning.
Yes, absolutely. With my career and kind of the places that I've bounced around, you just kind of nail it. It's not about really how much you make. It's about the situation that you're in, the people you surround yourselves with, and just it's going to carry over and be contagious in your day-to-day life. You want to be an upbeat type of guy and have some fun in what you're doing, because this is a game, it's a business as well, and you get that. But if you're not enjoying it, then you're not going to be having success. So this, it just was calling my name. Even right after the season, I kind of looked at a few options as to where would be good fits, and Edmonton was near the top of kind of my thoughts. So when the Oilers came calling, it was a pretty quick decision to jump on it.
All right. Curtis Lazar joining us right now, signing a one-year deal, league minimum, which makes you, frankly, a higher probability to help the team out as well and be a part of things. But let me ask you this. For some players, when the season's over, they can't watch the NHL playoffs once their team's out of it.
Yeah.
What did you do the last couple of years as Edmonton went on these extended runs? Did you watch a lot of the playoff games, or did you have to decompress?
Well, actually, so this year in New Jersey, again, I hardly played down the stretch. It's just kind of, I knew my season was over. The team was moving on. My way of decompressing is I drove the dogs back, and my wife drove her 2 kids. We had a 9-day road trip across the country to get back to BC. So that was our way of decompressing. And then we got home, flipped on the games. My oldest son, Owen, he's 4, just absolutely obsessed with hockey. Wants to watch a game every night, and when it got down to Edmonton and Florida, I don't think he understood why those were the only 2 teams playing. So he's well versed in the Oilers, and he's pretty happy to know that I'm on board with them now. So it's hard not to watch those, especially the Stanley Cup Finals, and knowing this team's come so close. And I'm going to do everything in my power to help them get over the hump.
One thing that look, I guess I'm going to ask you just about positionally. How much center have you played the last 3 or 4 seasons versus right wing? Because I know you've played a little bit on the left side too.
Yeah, last year was strictly center. that's something that I'm good at. I feel like, and especially being a right-handed shot, I think that's something that the Oilers need. In today's game, there's a lot of kind of what hands you are and the strengths of the strong sides and the weak sides and whatnot. So that's something that I like to bring. Allows me to kind of be around all over the ice, supporting the puck in the D zone, which I like to take care of first and foremost. But before that, with Lindy Ruff in New Jersey, as you said, I played all over, mainly left wing, which is my offside, comfortable on the right wing. So I've talked to coach today just to kind of about that, and I said, don't feel free to move me over all over the place. I'm going to do whatever it takes to win, and whatever my name's called, doesn't matter what position it is, I'm going to do my best to get the job done. But I do think from our conversations it's going to start out down the middle.
All right. One thing that you've subtly, it's not like you go looking for it, but you have been able to stand up for yourself during the course of your junior and NHL career, and a couple times surprised some guys. And maybe it's because I'm old school. I'm a '60s model, and was not the most courageous fellow myself, but I have a tremendous amount of appreciation for guys that are willing to chuck the proverbial knuckles. When you said you're willing to do whatever, you are willing to do whatever, aren't you?
Absolutely. I think that's the beauty of hockey too. It's the ultimate team sport. I'm not going to let anyone on my team be pushed around. And I know there's other guys on the team that can address that side of things, but it's always by committee. You want to kind of lessen the load for other guys. So if that's what it takes to kind of step up for your teammates or to change the tides in the game, that's what you got to do. And ultimately it's for the fun aspect too. Like you said, I'm not known as a fighter, as a rough guy. I play a very hard-nosed, north-south style game, but if duty calls, I'll gladly do it, and I'll probably have a big smile on my face during it.
One of the other times I saw you have a big smile on your face, one of your great viral moments, was it your rookie season in Ottawa with the Hamburglar, and they were chucking hamburgers on the ice, and then you decided that you would sample the fine cuisine. Maybe, first of all, how was the burger? Because you can never have enough burgers, says the guy that's 5'11" and 255 pounds. But, what would have possibly crossed your mind to have reacted in that fashion?
That's a funny story, actually, because, everyone I think knows about the Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglar run, how he kind of willed us into the playoffs. We've been undefeated for like an entire month or something. But we're playing Boston. I actually missed an empty net to kind of seal it. Boston came down, hit the post. Thankfully, we held on. So the burgers went flying. One actually didn't land on the bench, or it didn't land on the ice, sorry. It landed on the bench. It was in the wrapper. I grabbed it, and as a 19-year-old kid, you said, why not? Because it's a free burger. You're not going to pass up on that. So it tasted disgusting. A couple of the veteran guys looked at me, never the same after that. But again, it's funny to look back on that and also kind of realize how long ago that was. It's
that's 11 years ago, man.
That's right.
Hey, you won a Memorial Cup here with the Edmonton Oil Kings. To show you what a genius, and I still joke with Randy Hansch about this all the time, it was the WHL trade deadline that year, and Mitch Holmberg, who's now an Oilers scout, was having an unreal season. I'm like, Randy, you got to trade for Mitch. He's a 20. And he goes, I can't trade away, a couple of the glue 20-year-olds on the team at the time. And I just, you guys ended up maybe a little bit of a surprise that year en route to winning what has turned out, may I add. He did not want to trade. The guy he did not want to trade was Riley Keyser, who, of course, would go on and win a couple national championships at the University of Alberta in 2015 and again in 2018. What was it about that group that you had with the Oil Kings that you're the last WHL team to win the Memorial Cup?
Yeah, well, first off, Bob, thankfully Randy didn't follow through with that, because if we lost Riley, I don't think we win the Memorial Cup. An absolute workhorse for our group then. He's just a glue guy and just an overall good person. And he kind of represented our entire mentality as a team. Like you said, I don't think anyone expected us to really even make it through the second round of the Western Hockey League playoffs. But we were just seemed to be that little team that could. We always found a way, and we pushed and we pushed and we pushed. Led to the Memorial Cup. I think even in that final game against Guelph, our fourth line, I think, had one shift, and they scored on it. So a little bit of tidy work by them. But like you said, a pretty crazy stat that no Western Hockey League team has been able to hoist it since. But in saying that, I mean, it just speaks to how special of an organization the Oil Kings were, how detrimental they were in my career, my development, and it's kind of been a full circle moment of it coming back to Edmonton. I'm glad to be able to win a championship there with the Oil Kings. I'd love nothing more than to do something with the Oilers as well.
That's the way we're going to wrap this up, Curtis. I look forward to seeing you here in the fall. Thank you for joining us on Oilers Now, and congratulations on finally getting it done here in Edmonton.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
You bet. That is Curtis Lazar.